Hey guys, Evil Cursor, and welcome to my episode 2 instructional how to play Avatar the Last Airbender Quick Strike card game. Now, in this video, I will be going over the strike and advantage cards. Also, I've also thrown in cards for the four nations as well, to explain how they're used. So, let's start off with the strike types. Obviously we have the lion, the bull, the fox, and the interesting thing about this card is there's nothing in that corner, unlike there is with the lion, the bull, and the fox. So we'll start off with the lion. The lion is basically used for a more defensive fighting style, allowing you to build up your forces and your energy to unleash a series of powerful attacks at your opponent. So for this example, you pay 1 yellow energy, and when you counterattack from a charged zone, and what that basically means is a zone with energy in it, you can add a green energy. So if if this card was revealed in the yellow zone, you pay a yellow energy, and since it's in a charged zone, you can move one card from your discard pile to your green energy zone. So this allows you to basically build up some energies for some good attacks. Another thing about strike cards is that these are the cards that you use to actually attack with, hence the name. So you have the shield number up here and the power number down here. Shield numbers, if the shield number on a card is equal to or more than the strike of your opponent's attack, then it's blocked. What happens after that is then you can attack with the power number. Okay, so say like if it was the first turn, I revealed this card in the green zone, pay yellow energy, my opponent's attack's countered, and I'm attacking back for a 3 power level. Sorry, for a strike value of 3. And for every zone that my opponent fails to guard in, I can charge that zone. So let's say if my opponent is not able to guard, it's not able to counter my attack until they're in their red zone. Since they're able to counter that attack in their red zone, I can move cards from my discard pile and charge my green, yellow, and red zones. So, and also, upon revealing this card, if the shield is not able to block my opponent's attack, at the end of my turn, it's moved from the zone it was revealed into and moved into the energy of that zone. So, say like if my opponent attacked me for 5, I revealed an advantage card. Advantage cards cannot block it. They can't block anything, nor can they attack. I then move on to the yellow zone. I can't block that one. So, let's just say I'm able to block in the red zone. These two cards, since I haven't used them, to avoid wasting them, they go into their energy zones. Energy zones will be explained a lot more in the next video, episode 3. The strike and shields work the same for all types of strikes, but it's their effects that you want to watch out for. Some strikes have the ability to boost up their shields, or intercepts as they're called. So a card like Evade, that has a shield value of 3, but if you pay, I think it's a yellow energy, you can increase its intercept by 4, making it a 7. That attacks back for either a 3 or a 1. I run about 3 of those, I think, in my deck that I'll be using in episode 3. Okay, so for the bull, to go over the bull again, it represents aggressive and offensive style of fighting. Costly, but they win through force and doing through force and really just pushing your opponent into a corner. So by expense, it's a 5 shield, sorry, it's a 5 intercept and a 6 power. It costs 1 of each zones, which is relatively expensive, depending on how much energy you actually have at the time. But its skill is when you counter-attack, your opponent uncharges 1 of his or her zones. I am still researching uncharging. I don't really know if that's uncharge 1 energy or uncharge the whole of the zone. When I find out more about that, that will be in episode 3. The Fox represents tricky and cunning moves used for long-term gameplay. Using effects to look at the top card of your deck or search through the deck, forcing decisions on your opponent. So when this card's used, you can decrease its intercept by 2, so it will become an intercept of 4. But while your opponent is defending, their zones cannot be charged. Say like if this card forced my opponent down to their red zone, they cannot charge their zones after being able to defend. They're still able to defend, but they can't charge their zones afterwards. And now finally, these blank cards. These blank cards are really good, but that's really because in a deck. So let's see. Have a look for a chamber card. We use Ang for this example. When it comes to Ang, you have to use cards in your deck that fall underneath one of those different symbols. So you need to use light. You can only use light allies. You can't use shadow or darkness allies. You have to use spirit advantage types. You can't use body or mind, and you have to use fox strike types. You can't use any lion or bull. So Terror Break would fall with Ang because it's a fox type. But the good thing about the blank card types is that they can be used in any sort of deck because they're not restricted. Sometimes their skills might not be that great, but what do you expect when you can just put them in your deck willy-nilly? A deck can only have a maximum of 4 of a certain type of card. So you can have 4 Downdraft or 4 Terror Break, but a maximum of 60 cards in your deck. That's strike types covered. Now onto advantage types. Spirit, mind, body, and another blank type. All the blanks for advantage and strike are the same. You can use them as many times as you can use them in any sort of deck, regardless of in disregard of whatever sort of chamber card you're using. So I could use this card with Ang, with Katara, with Zuko, with anything. Okay, so with the spirit card, with the spirit advantage, costs 1 green energy, but you can eliminate one of your opponent's allies. So you can eliminate one of your allies. If you do, eliminate one of your opponent's allies. So if you have an expendable ally on your field, you can also kill something on your opponent's side of the field. That's why it's called expendable troops. For the mind advantage type, it costs 1 yellow energy. It's called Water Kata. When you counterattack, you may uncharge 1 of your zones. If you do, charge 1 of your zones. So if you need a red energy, you can pay the yellow energy to activate this card, and upon your next ability to counterattack, you can, let's just say, move 1 green energy into your discard zone, and then move 1 card from your discard zone to your red energy. This card just allows you to play around with your energy a little bit. Finally, the body. This card is called Misdirection, and it's a really good card. For the price of 2 green energy, which isn't expensive at all, your opponent skips his or her skips defending in his or her green zone, which is really good because that means your opponent has to immediately guard from their yellow zone, which gives you more of an ability to force them into their red zone. If your opponent is unable to defend in the red zone, then you score a point. First 3 points. That's how the game works. Finally, take them away. This card costs 1 red energy, and it's called Immediate, which means your opponent eliminates one of his or her allies. It's something that activates straight away. Finally, the different nations. These are cards that can only be played with a certain type of chamber card. So with Ang, you can only use the Air Nomad symbol. This card, Air Scooter, is a really good card for the cost of 2 green energy and 1 yellow energy. It's got an intercept of 5 and a strike of 5, which is a very good card. If you flip Air Scooter into a zone without an ally, you may move one of your allies to this zone. So let's say you have an ally in your red and your green zones. You flip this into the yellow zone, and you can move either one of those 2 allies to the yellow zone, in case you need to free up a ally spot for another card. The Water Nation. This card, I don't really understand how to use this card, but it says uncharge this zone. When you counterattack, charge any zone. So yeah, I'm still not completely sure about the charging. Sorry, I'm not completely sure about the uncharging of the zones. When I figure more out about that, I'll put that information into the 3rd video. Finally, Fire Sweep. It's known as Pitch, which means eliminate 2 green energy. It's not specific as it's to your opponent or you. But again, it's a Fire Nation symbol, which means it's forcing your opponent into another tough spot. Finally, the Earth Nation. When your opponent focuses, Boulder Smash gets +1 force. Now focusing is also known as charging. So if this card manages to break through your opponent's green zone, because your opponent was forced to focus the card that they used to try and defend in their green zone, Boulder Smash goes up in power by 1, so it's now attacking the yellow zone for 6, and so on and so on. Thank you for watching this video on Strike and Advantage and nation symbols. In video 3 I will try to learn uncharging of zones a little bit more, and you'll be able to see how a practice game goes. Upon seeing how a practice game goes, it'll be easier for you to understand gameplay and how to use all the different cards. Upon understanding that, you can go back, watch the other videos, and they'll make a whole lot more sense to you. Okay, thank you for watching.